Korean 7, Lesson 18 Lecture A. This lesson will be in two parts because the lecture is very long. 소개팅 하실래요? Would you like to go on a blind date? You attach noun to 동안, means during that event, or verbs base 는 동안 means while doing something. 소개팅 동안 떨렸어요. So during the blind date, you were shaking. 파일 다운 받는 동안 기다리세요. While you are downloading the file, please wait. So verb base 는 동안 doesn't matter if it ends in consonant or vowel. So you're asking, what did you do while I wasn't around? 제가 없는 동안 뭐 했어요? Just take out the ta from the dictionary form and attach 는. It doesn't matter if it ends in consonant or vowel. So you learn Korean for 1 year. What is 1 year? Noun. 1년 동안. So during something, an event or something that takes up time, you attach 동안. What is test? 시험 동안 못 나가서 재미없었어요. So during the test period, you couldn't go out, so it was not fun. 제가 요리하다, take out the ta, just put 는. 제가 요리하는 동안 제시카 씨는 칵테일을 만드세요. While I cook, Jessica, please make the cocktail. Now we get into explaining about noun modification. When you modify a noun in Korean, the clause comes before the noun, not after, as in English. It's like a lot of grammar points where the order of things are reversed. For example, we have the verb at the very end, and then the object comes first in Korean. But in English, we have the verb first and the object comes later in a sentence. And we don't have relative pronouns like who, which, that, etc. in Korean. So when we want to say person who sings in Korean, that clause becomes 노래하는 사람, simply a singing person. The person is what is being modified. The noun that's being modified is at the end. And the modification it is in front of the noun. 노래하는 사람 means person who sings, the singing person. The noun that is being modified, I repeat, comes later at the very end in the clause. Topic particle 은는 is not used in the relative clause, okay? You have to use a subject marker, okay? So you want to say, the book I'm reading is fun. You cannot use topic marker for this. You have to use the subject markers. You cannot say 저는 읽는 책은 재미있어요. No, 제가 읽는 책은 재미있어요. The book that I am reading is interesting. You can only have a subject in a relative, the relative clause with non-modification. 마틴은 준 선물을 저한테, 마틴은, see, already I'm a native speaker, so it's just awkward to me. You cannot have Martin in to talk about how please give me the present that Martin gave, okay? You. 마틴이 준 선물을 저한테 주세요 is correct. You cannot have Martin은 준 선물을 저한테 주세요. You cannot use topic particle in a relative clause with noun modification. However, the relative clause itself can be either subject or topic. 물을 마시는 사람은 Amy예요. Now you can say the person who is drinking the water is Amy. As for the person who is drinking the water, it's Amy. Or as subject, 물을 마시는 사람이 Amy예요. I know that can be confusing, so please read up on this, okay? So topic particle is not used in the relative clause. But the relative clause itself can take either subject or topic. Here, the relative clause is check, okay? Or here in this case, the relative clause is the object. So we have 을, which is the object marker. And always add 은 to make 있다 없다 ending verb and adjectives into a relative clause. 있다 없다 this is true for a lot of other grammar points as well. You just treat 있다 없다 ending adjectives into a verb rule. Even if it's an adjective, 있다 없다, you treat it like a verb. Remember that 하다, there's 하다 ending verbs and 하다 ending adjectives. However, for those, you have to follow the rule for verb, for 하다 ending verb, and for 하다 ending adjectives, you have to use the adjective counterpart of the grammar. For 있다, it's going to be both verb, as in 의자가 없는 여자, the woman without a chair. 맛있는 donut, the delicious donut. And here are the rules for modifying a noun with verbs. It's simply 는. It doesn't matter if it ends in a consonant or a vowel. For present tense, as in 받다 means to receive, 하다 is to do. So something or person who is receiving is 받는, or somebody who is doing something is 하는. For past, if it ends in a consonant, you put 은. Otherwise, you put 니은, the N final consonant, under the base or the stem, as in 받은 or 한. Now it means, something that was already received or person who already received. So it can be either person who received or the thing that you received or something already done. For future is 을, 리을, okay? 리을 irregular is affected by this. We'll go over the irregular exceptions later, but for most part, the base ends in consonant 을, otherwise 리을, as in 받을, something you will receive, or the person who will receive, or 할, something you will do, or something or person who will do something. Here are the irregular exceptions for verbs. 디귿 irregular, 듣는, you don't have to worry. 알다, as you might have guessed, you drop the RL final consonant and just put 는. You apply the 는, but you have to drop the RL final consonant. For the past, 들은. Now it becomes RL for 듣다, and 알다 would be 안. Okay, you drop the 리을 if it's present tense. It's replaced with 니은 for past. And for future, 들을, and for future RL final consonant, you leave it as it is with the base. 알. 아는, somebody something or person who knows. 안, something that you knew or person who had known something. 알, something you will know or person who will know. So the movie that you are watching, so it can be modifying the movie, but it's the movie that you were watching, or it could be you could say 영화 보는 사람, then it's the person that you're modifying, or 영화 is then the movie the noun that you're modifying. 보는 영화, the movie that you're watching. And as we have mentioned in the past, if there are no topic or subject, by default, the subject topic is you, I, first person. Problem that you don't know, 모르는 문제. If you want to say person who doesn't know something, 모르는 사람. But it could also be, without the context, you don't know if you're saying the person who doesn't have the knowledge or person that you don't know, I don't know about. 배우는 과목, subject that you are learning. How do you say a man who's making salad? The person who's making salad, 샐러드를 만드는 사람. Just be aware of the irregular, please. Person who is buying flour, 옷을 사는 남자. Person who lives at the hotel, 호텔에서. Remember, 살다 is it's the only verb where you can use either 에 or 에서, even if it's slightly different in meaning. Grammatically, you can use either 에 or 에서 for 살다. 사는 사람. All these are verb present tense. How do you say the person who is listening to music is my roommate? 음악을 듣는 사람이 제 roommate예요. Please give me the book that is on the table, on top of the table. 테이블 위에 있는 책을 주세요. For most part, present tense, you could get away with just taking out the 다 and placing 는 for present tense. 저는 음식 잘 하는 남자를 좋아해요. I like a man who cooks well. 샤나를, who is the person who knows 샤나? 샤나를 알다 아는 사람은 누구예요? Now you can ask questions such as 제일 좋아하는 가수가 누구예요? Who is the singer that you like the most? 제일 자주 보는 영화는 무슨 영화예요? What kind of the movie that you watch most often is what kind of movie? Okay. 제일 많이 먹는 음식은 무슨 음식이에요? What is the kind of food that you eat the most? 제일 is the most, literally the number one. So let's describe these professions. 선생님 is a person who teaches, so 가르치는 사람. 학생 is somebody who learns, so 배우는 사람. 수영 선수 is athlete, who swims either professionally or competes even if it's amateur. Person who swims well, 수영 잘 하는 사람. Game programmer, person who makes games, so game 만드는 사람. Chef is a person who cooks well. 음식 잘 하는 사람. Bartender, 칵테일 잘 만드는 사람. So you can have 잘 in there with an adverb, somebody who does something really well. 배우, 영화에 나오는 사람. Actor is somebody who appears in movies. 가수 is then 노래 잘 하는 사람. places. You can modify locations. 도서관 is where you borrow books. 책이 있는 or 빌리는 곳, 읽는 곳, place where there are books, where you borrow books or you read. 기숙사, 학생이 사는 곳, 잠자는 곳, where they live, sleep, students live or sleep. 책방, 책이 있는 곳, 책을 사는 곳, where there are books, where you buy books. Fitness center, 운동하는 곳, place where you exercise. So instead of 곳, you could also replace 곳 with 대. It will then indicate the location with the noun modification. You can replace 곳 with 대 as, noun modification and noun to say a place where or location where. 노래방, 노래하는 곳, 술 먹는 곳. In LA, yes, you can drink at 노래방. 카페, 커피 마시는 곳, 친구 만나는 곳, place where you drink coffee or meet your friends. 식당, 레스토랑, 식사하는 곳, 음식 먹는 곳, where you have a meal, where you eat food. 버스 정류장, 버스 기다리는 곳, 타는 곳, where you wait for your bus, get on the bus. Now the past. 작년 찍은 사진, photos you took last year. 끝난 영화, movie that is already over. 어젯밤 만난 사람, you could say 어젯밤에 만난 사람, person you met last night. 아까 읽은 책, book you read, just a while ago. How do you say dead goldfish? 죽은 금붕어, 죽은 금붕어. Food you had ordered, 주문한 음식. A graduate, a student who already graduated, 졸업한 학생. A present you made, 만든 선물, 만든 선물. So wearing verbs, it is important to note that wearing verbs, you have to modify in the past. If you modify them in the present, it means the clothes you are wearing now, the person, the t-shirt you are wearing like right now, instead of something that is already on you. So for things that go on your torso, you use a verb 입다. 옷, clothes in general, 바지, pants, 치마, skirt, 셔츠, 코트, 원피스, 투피스, 한복, etc. Things that go on your head, you use the verb 쓰다. 모자, 안경. You can use 끼다 for glasses because they get they fit kind of tight. Things that go on your feet, you use a verb 신다. For shoes, socks, 양말. If you want to describe a person wearing something, you need to modify the verb in the past, as I had mentioned. If you modify the wearing verb in the present tense, it means somebody who is wearing, putting on the clothes item right now. So as in the left, 드레스를 입는 Cinderella, it's Cinderella who's putting on dress right now. Now she's done. So 드레스를 입은 Cinderella who has put on, already has worn the dress. So when you want to say a person with, you're describing person with a t-shirt on, pants on, all that will be in the past. Otherwise, if it's present, it will be that person who is putting on clothes right now. See, he has not completed putting on the shirt. 셔츠를 입는 남자. The woman on the right, she already has a shirt on, so 셔츠를 입은 여자. 운동화를 신은 여자. Woman who already has sneakers on, so it's in the past. 선글라스를 낀 사람, person who has, who's wearing sunglasses. In English, we say wearing because it's on them, but we say somebody who had already put on the sunglasses. The hat that is on the person, 쓴 모자, 입다, the dress you have on, you already have put on, 입은 드레스, okay? So the question, 유리 구두를 신을 사람이 누구예요? Future. Who will be the person who will wear the glass slippers? 결혼할 남자를 만났어요. You met the man you will marry. Okay, all these are future, modifying the person or thing. 이번 주말에 할 일이 없어요. You don't have anything to do this weekend. Okay. 점심에 먹을 음식을 주세요. So please give me lunch that I will eat at lunch. Please give me food that I will eat at lunch. So when usually we say something to do, we mention it in the future. 할 일 없어요 is do you have anything to do? 네, 지금 할 일이 없어요. Yes, there's nothing I have to do right now. Even if it's present for things to do, we use the future. 할 일, 할 일. Whether that, that it's gonna rain. Okay. 비가 올 날씨. A news that somebody will like 좋아할 소식. A house you will live in next year. 내년에 살 집. Car you will buy next year. 내년에 살 차. So for non-modifying form of adjectives, we just mentioned present, past, and future for how to modify a person, noun with verb modification. And now let's modify the noun with adjectives. For present is the same as the past of the verb. If the adjective ends in consonant or vowel, you put un, otherwise niun. If it's past, ton, something that used to be this way or that way. And the future non-modification are the same. If the adjective ends in consonant, ul, otherwise riul. This is where a lot of confusion happens because often people get confused that it's both the present, you do the same thing for verb and adjective, but no. For present verb, you put nun, whether the verb base is consonant or vowel. And when it's in the past, that's something that is done, you put un if the verb ends in consonant, and niun if the verb ends in a vowel. Adjectives, that same rule for present tense. For past tense of adjective, done. Now let's also go over the copula ida. It doesn't matter if it's consonant or vowel ending noun, it's going to be both in. For past, idan or done. If the noun ends in consonant, idan, otherwise done. And il for both consonant or vowel ending nouns. 학생인, 과학자인 사람, person who is a student, somebody who is a scientist. 내년이던, 올해던, whether it was last year or this year. 방학일, 파티일, whatever that will be vacation, whatever that will be the party. For 아니다, the negative counterpart of 이다, 아닌, 아니던, 아닐. Okay, something that is not, something that was not, something that will not be. Again, irregulars. For piup, it's irregular, but the usual. You take out the P final consonant, and you take out the piup, and then attach a whole new syllable u, and resume normal operation. U ends in a vowel, so 반가운. Past, 반갑던. You just take out the ta, it doesn't get modified, you just put ton. And again, just like in the present tense, you have the regular pattern of taking out the BP final consonant, adding u, and then it becomes 반가울. For real irregular, you replace real with ni은, mon, 멀던, just add ton, and then 멀 gets replaced. It doesn't get replaced, but it just stays as it is with the base. 있다, 없다 becomes 있던, 없던, and 있을, 없을, whether if it's 있다, 없다 as themselves in verb, to exist or not exist, or adjectives ending in 있다 or 없다. 작년 고등학생이던 동생이 이제 대학생이에요. So my younger sibling who used to be a high school student last year is now college student. 이반은 아마 러시아 사람일 거예요. Forgot the space between Ama and Russia. So Ivan is probably Russian. He will be probably. It's not that he will become future, but you were saying he would be. He's probably. Okay, I'm guessing that he is Russian. 교육학 전공인 학생은 누구예요? So who is a student whose major is education? 가수던 학생이 사람이 배우가 됐어요. 가수던 사람이 배우가 됐어요. This often happens in Korea. Somebody who used to be a singer became an actor. So I want to go back to this again because you might ask, why is it not in? 이반은 아마 러시아 사람. You could say 이에요. Why is it 일 거예요? Because it's future. Because you that part in the front, if you remember, the whole thing is future. The whole thing is 을릴 거예요. Okay, it's a probability form. That's why. So that il part is the modification part, and then you have 거예요, which means it will be. 똑똑한 Snoopy is smart Snoopy because it's adjective. So you cannot put 똑똑하는 Snoopy because this is an adjective. You have to use the adjective rule. Even if it ends in 하다, if it's an adjective, you use the adjective rule. And if it's 하다 ending verb, 는. Spacious room, 넓은 방. So 작던 키, because height, which used to be shorter, okay? But now he's grown, so 작던 키. Now you're no longer sad, so 슬프던 얼굴. Face that used to be sad. Good mood, 좋은 기분. Wound that is painful, 아픈, 상처. 아플, what is it? Something that will hurt, wound that will hurt. Actually, we are doing future, 좋을 기분. 좋을 기분. Past for irregulars, 어려운 일, 어려운 일. Past would be 어렵, 어렵던 일. Okay, 어렵던 일. Made a mistake on the left. Let's go back to the chart. Future would be 더울 여름. Whether that will be hot. Quickly go back. So it would be 어렵던 일. 어렵던 일. Sorry about that. 어렵던 일. 어려운 일 is the present. Something wings that was spicy. 맵던. 맵던. Present tense. Close neighbor. 가까운 이웃. Long hair. 긴 머리. Okay. 달던 cake. The cake that was sweet. Faraway road, 먼 길, moon changes, it has phases. So moon that will be round, 둥글 달. Movie that will not be fun, 재미없을 영화. Car that is very stylish, cool, 멋있는 차, because even if it's adjective, 있다, 없다, ending adjectives become 는, 있는, 없는. 비빔밥 that was delicious, 맛있던 비빔밥. 도서관에 없을 책, book that will not be at the library. Beware that again, this is to emphasize that hada ending verbs and adjectives, they are conjugated differently, whether, there are, if they're in the present tense, because one is verb and one is adjective. So for present tense verb, you put an adjective 은, as in 숙제하는 Amy, but you say 착한 동생. Amy who does something, is doing doing homework, but here it's an adjective description. Younger sibling who is nice. Quiet club, 조용한 club, but then a person who is doing something is 공부하는 학생. 운동하는 남자, person who is exercising, but healthy grandmother is 건강한 할머니. Person who is hiking is 등산하는 사람, but tired person is 피곤한 intern. That's it for lesson 18. The second part of K7 lesson 18 will continue in another video.